ko ang sabi ng ibang mga tao. Taga saan ka? Narinig ko ang sabi ng ibang mga tao.
Hallo.
Hello. First thing first.
Okay.
Do you hear us? Can you hear us?
Okay.
No?
Yeah, no. We'll debate it in a. There will be time.
Achso, das ist die Kamera für uns, oder?
Yeah. We just no, but just one second.
Weird.
One second, because I need.
Dann setzen wir uns vielleicht lieber. Ja. Slippers habe ich extra angezogen.
Oh, I have my cozy socks as well.
Hallo, Katja. Seid ihr da? Hört ihr uns?
Jenny, shall we start or not? I don't quite understand what's happening.
They don't hear us, I guess. Hey, Katja, you hear us? Also, hey, Katja, can you hear us? No. Did it begin? Aber wir sind online, ne? Sind wir live?
No, I can't hear Constanze.
You can't? Hello, Katja. Katja, can you hear us? Katja? Can you hear us? We can hear you very clearly, but apparently you can't hear us. Maybe they don't have their output worked out. Can you text them?
Hast du es bei Facebook eigentlich gepostet oder wo? Ja. Schöne Stimmung.
Hier?
Online.
Online.
Live.
Nett.
Ne, guck mal, hier ist das Bild. Also ich hab's gepostet.
Komisch.
Komisch.
Zeigt aber nicht.
Da. Das ist deren Gong. Dass es losgeht, diese kleine Kling. So.
Was? Das kann bei wie heißt es, Lautsprecher kann ausgeschaltet sein, oder? Nochmal neu den Skype-Call oder so?
If you know how to check it. Yeah, like this is what comes up. But I could hear you though.
Can you see
yeah.
us?
Well, no.
No?
But we'll-
Okay. Good.
I mean, I don't see you, Constanze, but I see Jenny.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, hey. Okay.
oh, now we are, I think. Well, hello. Maybe let's
Hello.
just start invisible.
Shall I start? Hello, Katja and her crew. How many people are you?
How many are we? I don't know, like 10? 10 something.
10. That's 8 more than we are. No. Actually, yeah, we both. My name is Leona. I'm Constanze and Ulla. Do you know Ulla?
Don't think so.
Barbara knows Ulla.
Oh, good, nice. Assistants. There she comes. There. No, there. Okay.
Hey.
Okay. Maybe let's just give an intro.
Yeah. So nice to have you here in this Skype in call and the stream. And yesterday we already had a very, very nice evening with lots of crazy performances, nice music, and DJ acts. And did any one of you followed it through the stream? Or no, you were also very busy in Essen, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, but we saw it on Instagram. We saw parts of it on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. It's also one of my parts. But we gave it to the Kulturfotzen from Frankfurt. They host and do our Instagram profile through the weekend, and hopefully they will do it in their style, because that's very unique how they do Instagrams.
So basically, we're here in like right before the workshop formats are going to start, and the talks are going to start at 5. So we would like to hand over to you guys and the question, and I think maybe slowly there's other people coming, or we're in conversation with you like this. And you can't see us anyway, so you wouldn't know.
Yeah, okay. Okay. It's true, we do see you from the side. Yeah, so I will introduce very quickly what is it and who we are. I mean, individually, I think like people will introduce themselves when they speak. But just to say that right now there is like how many of us? Like 8 artists that are taking part in Artist Summit, which is a platform that was initiated by Fabrice Metzlia and Stefan Hilterhaus. And this platform functions as a kind of alternative to a bigger platform that is called Tanzplattform that happens as well in Essen. And Tanzplattform is a very big festival that happens once a year, where a lot of dancers, performers, choreographers, and producers are coming in order to, there are as well performances from, so to say, the chosen pieces that are, I guess, supposed to represent a German dance scene, or a dance scene taking place in Germany at the moment. And yes, Artist Summit is part and an alternative part of this bigger platform. And yes, actually, I want to just say that we have been working already. It's Artist Summit is a collection of about 37 artists that have been working together now for a week. And right now, during the Tanzplattform, we as well have open hours. So actually, right now, it's part of our discussion practice, where as well a public that visits Tanzplattform is as well welcome to join. And you will see some of them, or there are some people that have joined us. And what we're going to do is we're going to discuss a question why tech is boring and dense in a format of debate. So our group is going to split in two groups, and one group is going to prepare an argument pro this question, so to say, like, yes, tech is boring and dense because, and another group will prepare an argument that will state, no, tech is not boring and dense because. And then we will do it for about, we will brainstorm for about 7 minutes, and then each group will share their arguments with you and then open it up to questions if there are any. Yes, so for the next 7 minutes or so, you won't hear much because we will be discussing among ourselves, and then after 7 minutes, so to say, we can present you the points. Yeah?
Okay, fine. Sounds good.
Okay, cool.
Good luck.
So yes. So how shall we? Do you guys? Would you like to participate in this discussion? Like, I would propose that actually, like, you two take part in the discussion and join one of the groups, and then we can present to each other those points. The only thing we have to agree, like, what group does what, and. Okay. Okay. So this is us. Boring or bad? No, boring. Yeah. And yeah. 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 And our group. And our group is going. Okay. So I'm gonna time it.
Oder? Bist du das hier?
So just one suggestion I would make, when you take a microphone to speak, maybe introduce yourself with very shortly, like a name and maybe where you come from and what do you do. Just that, because I realize we haven't done that type of introduction, and I think it just would be good. Yeah, sure.
Introduce yourself. That's nice.
Okay. Yeah. And as well, I would suggest we'll start. I would say that we start, that our group starts with a pro argument, and then we can go into the against argument. Yeah. No. No, it will be that we'll talk about our statement until statements, yeah, or something. Hmm? We can time it, or we can time it, yeah. And then once we will feel that we said enough, then we'll pass it to you, and then you will have that time to, yeah, to state what you have been talking about. And then after that, we can open it up, because I don't think that there are much people on their side, so we can just open up conversation within this room. That's what I would say. Yeah.
Okay, nice. So we're ready now as well. We had to clear the light situation here. Yeah, but actually we became a bit more people here in this
Okay.
room.
Mm-hmm.
And from our side, we could start now if you're ready. We are.
Okay, yes. Okay. Fran, I'll pass it to you then. Yeah? Because you took notes, so. I did, but yeah.
Could you try to center yourself to the camera so that the person who speaks, yeah, perfect.
How about I read a note and then I pass it to the person who had that argument? Yeah. Hello, everyone. This is Frances Shiverini. So I'm going to talk about why technology in dance is interesting. Point number 1, technology provides translation for choreographic function.
Hi, my name is Katya Cheranyova. I'm part of the summit. I'm a dancer, choreographer, and teacher. And yes, technology can be a great tool to provide a certain understanding of how choreography works. And there were projects such as Motion Bank that worked specifically on that where it was a platform where scientists, media artists, and choreographers, dancers met, and they worked on the question of how to translate choreography into a visual format in order to give an understanding of how choreography works. So they have created, like there is a media work that presents a score from Deborah Hay, an American choreographer. Then there is an excerpt from One Flat Thing Reproduced, which is a piece by William Forsythe, where they as well, while dancers are moving, they have those different methods of how to represent the cue points or the connection points, where the gaze of the dancers and so on. So that was one thing.
Point 2, point 1 leading into point 2, which is technology used in dance can often give way to a new frame or a new way of viewing dance performance. Example being Instagram, or example being the work of art that came out of Motion Bank working with Deborah Hay and William Forsythe. Point 3, technology in dance is interesting because it gives access to art or dance that to those that may not necessarily have access to it. I believe Barbara made this point. Maybe? Yes? She's busy. Would you like to? Thilo? Okay, so I'll go to Thilo's point. To exclude tech would be to exclude a relevant aspect of our world. Thilo, would you like to elaborate?
Hey, I'm Thilo Garus. I'm a actor and a performer, and my argument in this case was just because we talk about like contemporary dance and contemporary performances is just like because also like we live in a contemporary world and there is technology. Also, just like to exclude technology is like excluding parts of our contemporary world we live in. That's just that simply.
Great. Point 12.7. We're in the digital age. Using technology in dance provides an opportunity for immediate reflection on an ephemeral art form.
Yeah, it's normal, I think, here. Yeah, hello. I'm Müge from Istanbul. I'm the founder and artistic director of Atölye Muse, which is a residency program and a supportive program, let's say, new disciplines of contemporary art. And what my point is becoming using how technology according to our aim. I think not only just in the materialist way, yeah, there is this machine and let's use it in our choreography, but using it to create a permanence and as a medium to transform this information to our generation horizontally and the next generations vertically, let's say. So we told, and you said, Ratan, you said that watch is a technology as well, and a film, a documentary is also coming from a technology, or a website also it's a technology. So it's about our aim, how to use technology to develop our discipline, I think.
The next point, choreography itself can be considered a technology containing inherent knowledge in itself. It can verbalize dance. I think this is
Yeah, I mean, my name is Fabrizio. I study choreography in Gießen. Yeah, I mean, it was just like some kind of, I don't know. I mean, when the question is if choreography is or not boring for dance, then for me, of course, it's a kind of difficult question because there's a kind of evaluation on it. But anyway, and then if I kind of just try to think what exactly we mean with technology, if technology is just like the development of devices, or if it's something that is not a tool, because a tool has a specific function and a technology is a gathering of knowledge that can have endless transformations. And if we understand choreography as a way of transforming dance in something that can be concrete and something that can be medialized, then choreography can also be understood as a technology in itself, because it's gathering knowledge of how to engage with dance. So yeah, and yeah.
And one final point coming from Katya. It's sexy. More specifically, she was referring to VR and the urgency that it brings.
Do I have to elaborate on that? No. I think we're gonna pass it to our anti-group or like against group.
Okay, so hi, I'm Robin Jody. I'm a writer and dramaturg, I guess. It happens occasionally. And so we have some points. I'll try to collect them. Technology. Okay, so the first one is that it's unreliable, unpredictable. It slows down the process. You always have to fix it, and it's frustrating. Anyone care to own that point?
Well, I think part of the delay. Yeah, I'm Norbert Pape, dancer, choreographer, and founder of an organization, co-founder of an organization in Frankfurt called ID Frankfurt. Yeah, I guess so. The delay of the beginning of this discussion and the time we lost is a clear argument for saying that working with technology is difficult, and often fragile and time-consuming.
The second point is that it's intangible. I think that was your point. Maybe not. I mean, intangible is something that you cannot see. And also just to go back to your point, is that we thought of this only in terms of digital technology, because we also were like, okay, so does that mean there are no costumes and no choreography and there's no cushions to sit on? But like, we really went only for digital technology. Otherwise, it would be, I think, very difficult to make it clear. So we're going to skip that one. So it's not self-sufficient.
Yeah, I mean, without. Hello, I'm Celine. I'm dancer, choreographer. My point was, yeah, you need electricity, you need money, but this is another point. It's just, yeah, you cannot use technology as easily as you can use body or instrument or other, yeah.
Another point is that it's exploiting something new. And I think that was like my own point. I feel like sometimes it's very fun to just kind of like follow trends. And then you just kind of can use something like, like putting like a Twitter feed behind your performance. And you're like, wow, look, we're doing things because it's on the internet right now. And I feel like it just gets really boring. And it's like, you're not really, it's just like kind of exploiting it for the sake of what it is, which I think goes into the point of, it's like it's not really exciting. Where did that one go? 1 second. What was the point that you made? Oh, it represents itself.
Yeah, this is more clearly in the relationship between digital technologies and live performance, that it often is illustrative of something, that the technology always represents itself and becomes like a thing on stage that somehow is either affirmed or criticized.
It de-emphasizes the body and it removes the body, or has the potential to remove the body from dance.
Hi, my name is Fabrice Mazlia, dancer choreographer, part of the Summit and Hood collective. So yeah, I was just thinking, trying to find arguments against it, which is an interesting exercise, because you could think that it could as well give new tools and potentials for movement and dance, and because we're thinking more about dance and then movement and the body. So we thought one thing was like, I could put this one in maybe, that it's not good enough yet. It's not how to say, elaborated enough. It's not fast enough. It's not organic enough that we can do the same that we would do with the body. And in the sense that now the time it takes in order to make it work and to understand removes eventually potential propositions that one could do with the body, or find other means that you would do with the space or with materials, as you were saying, that are not digital. And I think both are interesting, but sometimes it's an easy, quick answer to something that we don't know how to do. Like, it's very effectful, even though it is not at the same time.
It's very expensive, and that creates a lot of accessibility problems. I think that's.
Yeah, well,
I feel like that's the point, is that you have to buy things or you have to rent them, and that all includes money. And then where does your funding go? Do you want to pay dancers, or do you want to pay for some kind of thing on stage? I think then one of them, it took away the preciousness of dance and it creates ambiguity.
Yes. Hi, Roberta, dance artist and part of Hood. I find that it doesn't give anything to enriching the content. Technology is something that is visible on itself in a self-standing way, whatever you can say. What is it? Not self-standing, selbstverständlich. What is an obvious way? It's very obvious, and I think the work of dance is actually revealing the body has the potential of revealing what's invisible in its own very unique way, and technology digital technology doesn't. It needs to be obvious and visible so it can translate. It can't create in this sense.
So how do you want to go on about it? We can immediately open up as well to you guys if there are any questions, because I think like we gave some input into conversation. And so now if you want to join, we can take questions from you, or we can as well, yeah, we can as well just continue having conversation in here.
Yes, of course. Thank you all for your input and your brainstorming session. One point that was very interesting for me was the thing with the I forgot who said that, but the technology slows us down sometimes because it's maybe not functioning when we need it in something. And I thought that this just might be a fault of the human because he's not able to do it better, you know, to to optimize it. He's not able, so he has to work on himself to do it better in the future. So it's still a future missing link, maybe. Just that's not the fault of the technology, but the human fault, maybe.
Somebody? Anyone? Yeah? Oh, okay. Yeah. Could you repeat maybe once again?
Yeah. I thought that the argument or the opinion that technology slows a performer down because of dysfunction in something, because it doesn't work when we need it, just might be a fault of the human himself because he is not able to optimize it because he doesn't have the knowledge or something, and that he needs to still learn to do it better in the future, so that this function is just a futuristic missing link.
Yeah. Maybe I'll quickly jump on it. I think that's kind of that's an interesting point or an observation, because I was thinking a lot about it actually in relationship to like virtual reality. Because I find that this is like a space where body, in a way, is not really there, or where a body becomes incorporeal, and for me, like a big question, like you state a question that maybe we're not quick enough, but I think that I'm not so sure how much we actually will be able to become quicker, because I think we or our body as it is now will change. So it's not anymore will be the same body, but it will actually become something else. So in that case, it's we can't really talk about like catching up on technology, but the body itself will become already something completely different. And therefore I wonder how, like, what does it mean in terms of our relationship to movement and dance? Wait, just Robin?
Just for the why that could be potentially boring, is that it's always using the body in relation to technology. And again, there's no concept of like metaphor, there's no going beyond this like very basic interrelation between the human and the technology. And that's exactly why I feel like, why do I want to watch 10 shows about that? You know what I mean? And it's just like, are we ever going to be beyond it? And that I would be maybe more interested, like if we're more advanced or if there are different uses of it, like is it always just going to be like the dancer human body versus like the technological component? And again, like I just find that kind of
I mean, yes, I agree with you that this kind of dichotomy between humans and machines can be very obvious and boring. But I also think that there is, because now I'm also surprised that the discussion is actually about digital technology, not technology per se. But so when it comes to digital technology, I think that if you take, for instance, several types of softwares that you can actually recreate choreography differently. I'm not such a big fan of it, but I would just use one argument from Stamacia Portanova, which is like technology exactly is not interesting in itself, but what it offers is a kind of a way of thinking choreographically that is somehow, it's something that question what is the essentialized idea of the body. And I think that's also connected to cyborganism and queer aesthetics, or I don't know, pharmacopower. There is something about technology that also offers us an imaginative understanding of what the body could be beyond the social constructions that we live in and that are constructed in a centralized view of what the body can be biologically. So I think that technology, digital technology, can offer a realm and space for imagination and a space for questioning the social constructions as well. So that would be a positive aspect of it.
For me, yes, I can. I see. I see. Yeah. My name is Martina, and I'm coming from the MA choreography program from Gießen. And for me, when you were talking, it was surprising for me that I had this very strong perception also of what you call the dichotomy, so that there is what is thematized in performances is always this relation between a human body and a technological device, which is kind of on the other side and something totally different. But I think that that we really entered a time where this kind of dichotomy doesn't exist in that way anymore, because I think that the way how we deal with the body today and how we perceive and therefore also move and choreograph and so on is already so much informed by all the technologies that we use day by day that we cannot even imagine anymore a body that existed without the technology. So I think that the technology is already part of our corporeality in a way, that this thinking of the device that is somehow on the other side, and I'm opposed to it, I think it's embedded already so much in our perception and in the way how we, in the body images that we have and the movements we can imagine, that it's, my question is more how performances can investigate that without placing two separate entities, one which is technological and one which is the physical human body, opposed to each other.
Yes, I'm very thankful for that argument, because it goes right in the line of, why is dance and technology boring? Because it's present, right? As Thilo said, as you said, it's just there. It informs our bodies. It's part of us. And the question might be how to make it visible, or you said inquire, which I thought was really good. The question was, why is tech and dance boring? And that brings up another dichotomy, which is complex, of choreography and dance. And while I can see that as a tool, technology is highly productive or has had a big impact on how we create and all of that. On the level of dance, when the body is moving, this is where I situate dance, at least in the context of dance as an art form. Then for me, the question really becomes how to make maybe visible what has an impact on our bodies, or what transpires through our bodies and what moves our bodies, and less about the machines. Yeah. So
just wanted to say that this whole conflict is also very in my mind. So I have a conflict in myself with this. Actually, we cannot deny that technology is such a big part of our daily life and our lifestyle. And you said that our body is already in a relationship with technology, but I think that maybe our mind and our brain is not, because we still think in two sides. So we always feel this pressure of technology to be better and to close this gap between technology and an actual human body.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Costanza, we don't hear you.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you finished or not?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I feel you and the conflict situation. That this gap between technology and a human body is still a discourse we have to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm hearing different arguments, and I'm trying to go against it, because that's maybe what we have to exercise. That's our job. But I'm not I don't know much about technology. I don't know enough, and I wouldn't be able to really make a very a proper kind of like critique of it. But I keep on thinking of science fiction. I don't know why, when I think of technology and of the future and what comes to me. I'm just going to share my reflection, because I don't really have the exact arguments or points to talk about it. But it seems that for me, there's always whatever technology is doing is what we've imagined it to be, right? It has never so far come to something that we haven't imagined that it could be. And when I say that, is because I take from the point of view that we cannot invent anything outside of ourselves, so to say, or outside of something that we can refer to or have an understanding. So it could be a combination, it could be many different things. But anyway, that's a bigger topic maybe. But in that sense, I was thinking of this, like it enables and allows us to do things maybe faster in other ways, which we think we can't do. But I think what it actually does also, it shows us that maybe those things are possible to be done without technology. And there's other types of training. So I would go in something a bit esoteric maybe, or metaphysical or something like this. But like I've heard and I've read, a few, how you call those, like, it's not science fiction, but like, anyway, books where they talk about eventually, like iPhones, the technology seems to be more and more not disappearing, but making itself more invisible. And that's the step forward. The more it disappears, the more it's advanced. The less it is, the bigger it is. We don't, like we need to turn a wheel to make it happen. And then it becomes this super kind of like almost in the air. We won't see it. And it demands a certain physicality towards it, which is interesting, which we develop with it, but it means also we can do it. So it's almost like as if technology is teaching us what we know already, but we need something external to understand that. And then eventually we can do it without, and that's a technology that actually is, telepathy is actually technology. You could say that we have the ability for, and we could communicate and call each other, but we don't need actually the instrument themselves. So that's why I'm thinking science fiction. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe just on our side, really quick note. This is Constance speaking now. Before that was Leona. And I just want to quickly add something to this, because I think it's a very interesting bridge you're making there between the first kind of point on the side I think, pro-technology in dance was the Motion Bank project, which is kind of, I think, exactly what you're describing. That's something that's, you know, or the move or the profession of dance is a little bit monitored by this tech stuff, and via these mediations, via, you know, making it visible, something becomes understandable that you wouldn't be able to see with your eyes only, although it has been there all the time. And I think it's very interesting that you made this point that if technology could make itself much more invisible, or in the moments where it gets invisible, it becomes this kind of enhancement of reality, or no, this kind of explication of something that has always been there. So, but I wonder, why does it always happen that stuff, or that this kind of dichotomy between dancer and tech device is in the foreground, whereas it's not actually about this other kind of actor usually, but it's kind of, yeah. So maybe that's a question, if it's possible to add to that on your side.
Well, maybe there is something about being able to observe something outside of ourselves, and so give it a visibility. Taking the fact that actually technology is something that we have invented. It is an invention that came from humans, and we made it visible outside of ourselves with like the rudimental, you know, like capability that we have to make it into become as something that has a functionality to which we can relate. And it seems that the function of it has to do with a form of expansion, and like to get further in some ways, to communicate more, to do things in a quicker way, and to get more to the point in some way. But it feels like technology then has to come back in some ways. Once, you know, you put it out there, you make it visible, and then somehow through making it more refined and more invisible, it's as if it needs to come back in. And I wonder if there is a parallel within making from within something that sort of looks like technology, or technology could give us ideas of faster communication that we couldn't rationalize before, and that making that connection can maybe help to develop these forms of expansion from within.
Yeah, I was like, because you were also talking about like that like technology is actually disappearing, and then you don't make it, you don't want to have it like visible, and because like you were also talking already about like cyborgs, and like maybe like I was asking myself if we are not already cyborgs with our phones, and like we already made each other like more accessible to information. I have like a whole encyclopedia in my phone, in my pocket right now, just because of my thing in my pocket. And so I was like asking myself if we like also like exclude and don't want to make tech visible, how much tech we already are, and maybe also like if you want to have it like very visible in your works, is it maybe like just like already like vintage? If you see like I see technology so visible on stage right now, and if you think about like how much we are already cyborgs, you're like, yeah, it's like it's already belongs into the history, into a museum.
That's a super interesting point. Thank you.
I mean, I feel like I can agree with this concept of like, yeah, we probably are already at this like cyborgian state. But the concept, I mean, like, would you perform an activity of knowing that people are cyborg? Or would you have someone on stage with an iPhone looking at their phone? Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's, when it's a metaphor, I feel quite good with it. But when it's like on stage and I'm like forced to watch people just look at their phone, it could be interesting. I've seen things that are interesting, but is that like, how can you use that with dance? Yeah, this is like Onks. Like I feel like Anne Imhoff did this. Like I don't know if that was like a dance performance or if that's a performance. I don't know, whatever the category is. But I feel like something interesting, like even if it wasn't just like this type of technology, and this is maybe a little bit on the pro, and it goes to I think what Fabrizio said was like how to incorporate technology. For example, these like exoskeletons where you can like put these metal constructions on your legs and it makes you much stronger. Like what if women could lift men? What if, I don't know, like children could lift adults? Like what if whatever? I don't know, whatever. I'm just like trying to like say like something here, but it's just like that would be more interesting to me. Like if you use it as like not a thing for itself, but as like an addition to what is already happening with the body. Like how can you extend the capabilities of the human body and what would that look like? And like I'm more interested in that more than just like seeing the fact that we are humans that have technology on stage. I don't know.
I don't say anything. I just want to just shortly say that Boris Sharma did a piece called L'Enfant. I didn't see it, but I know they used cranes on stage. And it was very much about this, and there were adults and children.
Well, now I don't have any concrete thought, but I would just dive in the realm of sharing thoughts. So, yeah, I think what you're saying in the beginning about like you think that's much more interesting, the idea that technology is behind already the way that we think and also the way that we understand in our own bodies. It's more interesting than just seeing someone with an iPhone on stage. So I also, and when you said that, for me, it was very clear that maybe we could also think about how to shift our discussion from discussing technology and dance, not in the aspect of a representation, but in the aspect of how it shapes the way that we do. So how we think about the impact of the technology in the methods or in the way that we think dance. Because dance, if you think about dance as some kind of, I don't know, ontological entity that we actually don't know what it is, following some choreographers that really advocate for that, like Martin Spamberg crazy saying things like that. But if you really think dance as this thing that's detaching, or I saw Alice Shusha and all the other choreographers, not only Mayo Dude, but if you think about dance as this detached thing, then I think that also we could question something that Norbert, right, was saying that maybe dance is when we are engaging with the bodies to dance, but also maybe dance can be understood as a larger field that are not connected with choreography. Maybe dance can also be seen as therapy, as somatics, other things that are not exactly on stage, on performance. So maybe we have a more complicated situation to discuss, like what exactly we're talking about technology in dance as performance or dance as itself. And yeah, that would be more like my problem now.
It's very short comment that what you described with the image of seeing people on stage with iPhones or something, I would also say this is just trying to create a representation of an image of bodies with technology, which is not very interesting for me at least. But what then you described, what would be more interesting for you, that the technology actually enhances the body in some sort of way so that it would be capable to do things that otherwise it is not. I'm also not so sure if I find that so interesting, because that for me it's exactly going into the line of self-optimization of the body with the help of technological tools, but where the intention is very much, okay, I can become stronger because of some tools that allow me to optimize my physical capabilities. I think what I would find more interesting is to really question in which ways technologies are transforming our ways of embodiment, our ways of physical expressions, and not only in an affirmative way, in a praise of technology, but in a very questioning mode of what that does and produces, more than how can it necessarily enhance my physical abilities.
Yeah, I just want to add something quickly to, as well, like in relationship to, as well, like the mentioning on the phone. And I want to, which, yeah, again, as you said, like, I don't know if it's like performance or dance, choreography, whatever. But yeah, it's the works of Anna Imhoff, where she does use, or like, actually in her work, like technology becomes both a tool, but as well a reflection in some way, because but and not only reflection, but as well it has a purpose. So for example, the performers that are using the phones are not necessarily only using them for aesthetic reasons, but she's actually communicating that, like, there is a WhatsApp group through which they're actually communicating during the performance. Like, she sends messages to performers react on the messages, and yet of course it is an aesthetic. But then, like, once the phone is placed down, like through the actually an embodied state within the proximity that they have within with the audience, it as well represents the voyeurism that is very present because of technology in our days. So yes, like, or exactly in relationship to like the phone, yes, from one hand it is an aesthetic, from other hand it does have a usage to, like, it's very purposeful actually. I have just one question. How are you guys doing with time? Because I think like we can continue having this discussion, but I just wanted to double check what's your agenda.
Yeah, so we would be fine with 3 more minutes or something if you have an all over conclusion or a solution for this. Is tech and dance problem or boring? That would be very nice.
Because we're waiting for a twerk shop.
For twerking.
Nice.
No,
so,
but of course you can continue your conversation. Unfortunately, we would have to log off to empty out the stage.
yeah, of course. I'm going to pass it to Francis.
I have some counter arguments to some of yours that talk more or address more how tech in dance being not boring affects social constructs. Let's see, what do I have here? I think, okay, so one argument was, oh, there's a learning curve that humans have to manage in order to use tech to optimally, because, you know, like your argument was, it's slow, it's difficult, blah, blah. My counter argument is, it's frustrating. My counter argument is that it creates jobs. That's giving way to a new study that people can find interest in, and they can study technology, and then there are suddenly new jobs for people. Boring. Another one, if we change how the relationship of how of tech and dance to more of how, or tech in the body, of how they can use each other rather than become one. I think tech can be used to disseminate the knowledge of dance. I think that's kind of an obvious, boring one, again. But I mean, you look at YouTube. How many YouTube videos have been sent to you, and that you've sent to other people of dance forums in Chicago or Australia, and like all of a sudden your like mind got blown because there's somebody across the world was doing some shit with dance in a church basement that like changed your whole attitude towards the thing. Bam. Are we done on time? Or can I keep going?
You can keep going. Keep going.
Okay. Let me look. Yeah. So there was a counter to the argument that it's frustrating. Again, you were like, this was so frustrating. For example, this it took us 20 minutes to get this conference going. I have 2 counters to that. One, it gives way to a new kind of exchange that, of course, we could never have this exchange with you in Hellerau. We would have had to go there, and that takes a long fucking time. So more than 20 minutes. More than 20 minutes. And secondly, and I'll close with this, that a choreography in itself appeared. Just as Katya said, there's a movement happening in this exchange that could not have appeared otherwise. Punkt. Boom.
Boom.
The against group.
Actually, I have a pro. Oh my God. But I don't know if that can be considered. Yeah, I know. I'm like in between. No, I want to say that being partly a cyborg myself, I would say that because of technology, I could dance longer. Having a hip replacement. So if this could be seen as technology, right, in the dance field, then that's a really very valuable thing. But the rest is totally boring.
Well, yeah. If art also kind of promotes questions and instigates development, I think that like Google and Tesla and stuff should pay us really well. I mean, and that would be exciting, right? And it's boring that we do it with our freelance budgets.
Okay. Okay. I guess
as one question for you all, what is your advice? What kind of opinions from you all should we remember here in Dresden right now for this festival?
What opinions of ours they should remember in Dresden?
all of them.
All of them.
Real. And there's one sitting among us right now, at least. And they're secret. You don't know who they are. There's people, yeah, sitting among us.
Anyone else? No, I think all the points were very valuable. So I would suggest keep all of them. Remember all of them.
I try my best. Okay. So thank you. Hopefully you will have a nice day today. Enjoy it on the Tanz platform.
Thank you.
And if you have time, keep going and keep the discussion. We will now twerk a little bit, if it's fine for you, right?
Happy twerking. Yeah. Do you stream it actually? You do stream it, right?
Yeah, we do. Go on our website.
Maybe we could join you. We can join their twerk. They're streaming it. So.
Yeah.
Is it on Facebook group? Where can we find it?
You can find it on our official website. It's Digital Feminism. Live.org. And then net. Oh, sorry, it's .net. And then on the rider with stream or live.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
You can work with us. Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thank
streaming
you.
in and having us as part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Thanks
Okay.
for everything. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Ciao. Bye.
Money, money, money. Yeah, Workshop. Woo! Dresden. Ja, Leute, ich kann eigentlich nicht twerken, aber ich kann meinen fetten Arsch wackeln, ja? Guckt. Läuft, ne? Okay, jetzt machen wir die Musik ein bisschen leiser. So, also, gibt es Teilnehmerinnen? Gut, gut, gut. Also als erstes kann ich empfehlen, damit man sich auch so ein bisschen sexy fühlt, weil darum geht es ja auch beim Twerken. Also es hilft, sich vorher die Beine so mit Kokosöl einzuschmieren. Also ihr könnt auch vorkommen, die auch Shirts anhaben, sehr gut. Also ja, kommt ruhig hier vor, hier gibt es auch Stühle, man kann hier auch sitzen. Also erstmal Beine einschmieren, das ist geil. Guckt, sieht doch schon viel geiler aus, oder? Genau. Bedient euch, Jule, unser Host, hat das alles hier gestellt, richtig geil. Auch das iPad, vielen Dank. Also jetzt erst mein Creme, ja? Dauert ein bisschen. Ja. Ja, sieht doch gut aus. Und natürlich das Hinterteil. Sehr schön. Ich will mich wie Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, Arme auf. Ja, wie gesagt, ich kann eigentlich nicht twerken. Also ich habe es nicht professionell gelernt. Ich mache das einfach gerne, zum Beispiel, wenn ich so tanzen gehe, muss man ja irgendwie tanzen oder man hat Lust zu tanzen. Und ziemlich schnell passiert es so ganz von alleine, dass ich einfach so bestimmte Bewegungen mache, wo dann meine Bekannten sagen, ja Sonja, du kannst doch so gut twerken. Naja, okay, und was ich beibringen kann, sind so bestimmte, so vielleicht 4 Moves, wo man dann auch so aussehen kann, als ob man twerken kann. Und ja, der erste wäre einfach erstmal locker machen. Also erstmal locker machen, so. Umdrehen. Ja, sehr gut. Also sieht sehr gut aus. Sehr gut. Also man merkt schon, ihr könnt das sehr gut. Das sah sehr gut aus. Ja, ganz einfach, oder? Schon getwerkt. Genau, das geht immer. Und dann kann man natürlich halt, also man macht den da. Dann geht man so nach vorne. Und dann geht man zurück. Und dann dreht man sich um, zeigt seinen Arsch, beugt sich vielleicht so vor. Dann geht man wieder zurück. Ja, Übung Nummer 1. Okay, nächste Übung, auch sehr einfach. Und zwar, man geht so vor. Ja, und dann macht man einfach den da. Ja, ganz einfach, oder? Einfach vorbeugen. Also wenn ihr den Arsch nicht zeigen wollt, dreht euch einfach Richtung Wand. Wenn ihr zeigen wollt, dreht euch Richtung, so wie ihr steht, genau. Ja, und jetzt hüpfen, Füße, ja, sehr gut, dieser Kandidat ist hier richtig talentiert. Wow, geil. Ja, das sieht doch gut aus. Ja. Okay. Ja. Ach so, und was noch hilft, wenn man wirklich die Fußzehen halt abhebt, ja? Also zum Beispiel nicht so, sondern richtig hoch. Und man versucht noch so den Arsch wie so, also man muss irgendwie schaffen, so diese Bewegung zu machen, also dass man hier so, also sieht jetzt natürlich verklemmt aus. Ja, wie soll ich das beschreiben? Hohlkreuz halt irgendwie so und das macht man halt dann oben auch so. Also. Ja, das haben wir jetzt doch auch gelernt, Übung Nummer 2. So, was gibt's noch? Was ich immer sehr gut in Clubs schätze, sind so Erhöhungen, zum Beispiel sowas, ja? Also einfach Bein so aufstellen und los geht's. Chillig, oder? Also alle stellen sich einmal in eine Reihe auf. Genau. So, hier Varieté, Twerk-Varieté. Jetzt machen wir ein bisschen Musik vielleicht. So. Oh Gott, jetzt Technik kackt ab. Okay. Okay. So, einmal rechts. Ja, sehr gut. So. So, jetzt muss ich noch mal überlegen. Kenne ich noch irgendwas? Christina, habe ich irgendwas vergessen? Und das absolute Special, weil Twerken ist ja so arschfixiert, ja, das wollen wir auch nicht. Wir wollen schon, dass die Brüste auch zur Geltung kommen, ja. Mir geht's auf die Nerven, immer dieser Arsch, ja. Also Titten ist noch besser. Und zwar, ja, dann stellt sich so Problem Nummer 1, ich habe ja keine Brüste, ich habe nichts zum Wackeln. Aber ich glaube, das geht mit jeglichen Brüsten und ich mache es mal vor. Also ganz geschäftig mit den Schultern hin und her wedeln. Ja, sehr gut, sehr gut, sehr gut. Noch einfach, noch mutiger. Ja. Und jetzt so richtig, als ob du so wandern gehen willst, so. Und ihr seht, man kann den ganzen Körper sogar wackeln, ja? Von Brust bis zum Arsch, alles wackelt. Okay, sieht vielleicht nicht so sexy aus, aber ist ja auch egal, ja? Muss ja nicht immer alles sexy sein. Ja, habt ihr noch Fragen? Wollt ihr noch tanzen? Ja, gut. Dann, wir könnten auch so machen, wenn ihr Bock habt, ich könnte irgendwie so im Sportstudio mäßig oder so Zumba-Style, könnte ich auch euer Trainer sein, ich mache euch Sachen vor, ihr macht sie nach, was hält ihr davon? Gut? Geil. Gut, dann ich mache was und ihr habt ja auch die gleichen Voraussetzungen, also wenn ich irgendwie den mache, macht ihr nach. Und wenn ich den mache, macht ihr das auch nach. Könnt ihr auch. Ja, und wenn ich so mache, kriegt ihr es ja auch hin, oder? Gut, dann machen wir jetzt mal hier Party. So, Technik. Hier. Yeah, ein neuer Kandidat ist dabei. Kommen Sie, machen Sie mit. Juhu!
see what I think I will. Did the thing I seen, sure to get low. Ain't the same when it's up that close. Make it rain, I'm making it snow. Work the pole, I got the bankroll. I'ma say that I prefer them no clothes. I'm into that, I love women exposed. She threw it back at me, I gave her gold. Cash ain't a problem, I know where it goes. She had them
The ladies want to wind up their waist. Open up the middle and give me some space. Let me mash up the place. I got this thing round the backyard. We don't fi shake it up like a shaker. Left to the right, move like indicator. Vibrate it like a snake with a rock claw. To the left, make it jump to the right. Make it move back, job link like a car light. Indicator, body firm and tight. Tempo no big like 64 megabyte. Left side a jump, right side a jump. Bada bumper, ya go convert that a jump. Make it mind change when you sight the black jump. Bada bumper, ya go convert that a jump. Hey, watch out, go sit down with it. Woman, me a bubble bumper, a jump in it. Indicator, them a watch how me did it. Them a photo color, so get it, them a in it. Bumper jumping, watch how my bumper jumping. Left, right, bumper jumping. Body, body, my bumper jumping. Left, right, bumper jumping. Indicator, bumper jumping. Left, right, bumper jumping. Body, body, my bumper jumping. Left, right. Watch how me make my body jump and a vibrate. Boom, boom, so tight, you know, deep like lake. Indicator, make it jump and shake. If you burn you so hot like a cake where you bake. Indicator, make it jump like that. Jump up like that, make it jump like that. Some guy can do this, them can't do that. Indicator, make it jump like bumper, blink up like indicator light. Signal to the left, make it jump to the right. Move it like indicator light. Signal to the left, make it jump to the right. Hey, watch how me go sit down with it. Woman, me a bubble bumper, I jump in it. Indicator, them a watch how me did it. Them a photo color, so get it, them a did it. Bumper jumping, watch how my bumper jumping. Left, right, bumper jumping. Body, body, my bumper jumping. Left, right, bumper jumping. Indicator, bumper jumping. Left, right, bumper jumping. Body, body, my bumper jumping. Left, right. I got this thing round the backyard. Me no fi shake it up like a shaker. Left to the right, move like indicator. Vibrate it like a snake with a rock claw. Swing to the left, make it jump to the right. Make it move, but it job link like a car light. Indicator, body firm and tight. Jump to no big like 64 megabyte. Left side a jump, right side a jump. Bada bumper, ya go convert that a jump. Make it mind change when you sight the black jump. Bada bumper, ya go convert that a jump. Hey, watch how me go sit down with it. Woman, me a bubble bumper, a jump in it. Indicator, them a watch how me did it. Them a photo color, so get it.
Ja, voll anstrengend, gell? Dresden. Ja, nichts für Herzprobleme. Ja, es gibt noch so ein Special zum Abschluss. Ich muss was trinken auch. Oh, Alter. Also ich finde auch sowas wie Daggering ziemlich geil. Kennt ihr Daggering? Das sind so Fick-Tanzpartys, aber man fickt nicht wirklich, man tut nur so. Also alle tanzen und sehen aus, als ob sie eigentlich miteinander schlafen würden. Und natürlich ist es nur ein Tanz. Und es gibt so einen ganz tollen Move. Ich habe auch einen Freiwilligen gefunden. Der Kandidat muss sich so hinlegen auf den Boden. Richtig so wie im Bett. Auf dem Boden. Genau. Ja, genau. Legt sich am besten. Warte. So, hier, tiefer, tiefer. Dahin und dahin. Okay, es kann, vielleicht sterben wir jetzt danach. Ich habe es noch nie gemacht. Ich schaff das. Oh mein Gott, Entschuldigung, lebst du noch? Und dann macht man so. Ja, Leute, kann ich auch empfehlen. Der Highlight auf der Disco. Beste. Hast du überlebt? Vielen Dank. Yay. Okay, Leute, ich hoffe, ihr twerkt jetzt mehr in der Disco. Ich bin voll erschöpft. Ja, der Twerkshop ist vorbei. Ja, auf jeden Fall. Ihr könnt natürlich weiter tanzen. Ich tanze bestimmt auch ein bisschen. Geil. Genau, ich hole noch ein bisschen Musik gerade.
Let no nigga swim in your coochie for free. What you wanna live broke or ride B.I.G. No, I ain't got no time for you. If you can't help me, just don't put your hands on me. Or disrespect me out of a gang of niggas. I want me the boss. I lay him on his back and then I break him off. On the side, get broke, niggas turn me off. But I love me a boss, man, he pay what I cost. He keeps spoiling me and hot oiling me. Daddy here is a beast, take control of me. I'm that beach, yeah, I'm that beach, yeah, I'm that beach, I'm that beach, I got good pussy, I'm that beach, yeah, I make that money, I'm that beach, I don't take shit, I'm that beach, damn right, that's right, I'm that beach, yeah, I'm that beach, I'm that beach, yeah, I'm that beach, I got good pussy, I'm that beach, yeah, I make that at my blood, say I'm making them fall. And then double up back, let me catch this nut. I don't wait for no man to pay my bills. Got a job, work hard, get it, I live up 7 a.m. and I start my day. Headed forward, cause I'm about my pay. Like Lil Keith say, little mama don't play. In the bedroom, throw the dick this way. Wednesday night, she can catch me at Coco's. In the back, my thugs getting loco. No regular, I smoke purple. He got me goofy like Steve Urkel. I'm that beach, I'm that beach.
country, I call it sun kiss. Chocolate bunny, putting hours for the money. I love for you and friends do too. Please be like, oh, now you brand new. Damn, baby, you bad, got me all confused. Wanna fuck you and your whole damn crew. I got DJ trees on the ones and twos. Can you run it back with that new John knew I got two seduce. He drunk off booze, headed to the room, spend money getting loose. Yeah, nigga, I wanna get loose. I'm that B. I'm that B. I'm that B. I'm that B. I got good pussy. I'm that B. Yeah, I make that money. I'm that B. I don't take shit. I'm that B. Damn right, that B. Yeah. When my ladies act about they paper, don't give a fuck about you haters. When my ladies act about they paper, don't give a fuck about you haters. Who the baddest up in the club? I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. Yeah. Who the baddest up in the club? I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. Yeah. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I got good pussy. I'm that bitch. Yeah, I make that money. I'm that bitch. I don't take shit. I'm that bitch. Damn right, that bitch. Yeah. When my ladies act about they paper, don't give a fuck about you haters. When my ladies act about they paper, don't give a fuck about you haters. Who the baddest up in the club? I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. Yeah. Who the baddest up in the club? I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. Yeah.
So I told the bitch, I'm fat. You ugly. I can fix fat. You can't fix ugly.
Pass me a drink, I'm important. Kisses on the cheek, I'm important. Mirrors on my hand, I'm important. I'm coming through, bitch, I'm gorgeous. 30 on the chain, I'm important. Nigga with a champagne, I'm pouring. You already know I'm important. I'm important, bitch, I'm important. I'm important, bitch. Walking through the club, everybody know my damn name. Getting hella rich. Got a bottle in my hand, spent 30 on my damn chain. Big shit cracking, I got big shit cracking. Talking about money, I got big shit stacking. Talking about the weed, I got big shit packing. Everybody fuck with me, I make big shit happen. I'm drunk and I'm hot. I need another bottle, bartender. Real bitch till I die. Where the fuck are we at? I can't remember. Took 1,000 pictures posted on my IG. Club turned up like some fucking high beam. We got 3 more parties when we leave here. And when we go, won't nobody wanna be here. Ladies, pass me a drink, I'm important. Kisses on the cheek, I'm important. Mirrors on my hand, I'm important. I'm coming through, bitch, I'm gorgeous. 30 on the chain, I'm important. Nigga with a champagne, I'm pouring. You already know I'm important. I'm important, bitch, I'm important. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. How much money can I blow? And if your weed sweat off the track, tell the DJ run this motherfucker back. 'Cause I'm all nigga back up off of me. Got the pussy ass hater too soft for me. Bitches fighting in the club, no security. But the drama makes shit more fun for me. 'Cause I'm drunk and I'm high. I need another bottle, bartender. Real bitch till I die. Where the fuck are we at? Nah, for real though, where the fuck are we at? Pass me a drink, I'm important. Kisses on the cheek, I'm important. Mirrors on my hand, I'm important. I'm coming through, bitch, I'm gorgeous. 30 on the chain, I'm important. Nigga with a champagne, I'm pouring. You already know I'm important. I'm important, bitch, I'm important. I'm important, bitch, I'm important. I'm important, bitch, I'm important. Nigga with a champagne, I'm pouring. I'm important, bitch, I'm important.
Ja, vielen Dank. War mega geil. Hat Spaß gemacht und ja, es gibt bestimmt auch so Twerk-Kurse in eurer Stadt. Die Twerk-Disco. Ja, auf jeden Fall, ihr wart richtig gut. Habt euch richtig locker gemacht, das ist das Wichtigste. Und ihr habt euch bewegt, ihr habt was für eure Gesundheit getan. Ihr könnt jetzt die Treppen hochlaufen, ohne zu schnaufen. Das ist ein gutes Zeichen. Ja, cool, danke. Splash. 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 Step into cold water. Step into cold water. Splash. 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 Take a step into cold water. Splash. 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 Fresh. Fresh. Splash. Refresh. 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 Hold your position, stand